All right, here we go. Number one. First thing is the warm-up. We're going to go ahead and work on the warm-up. Today's Tuesday, the 21st. I went through with you yesterday what's going to be due at the end of the week. Today, we're working on our warm-up. After we do our warm-up, I'm going to walk you through what the next steps are in the project. After which, we're going to do multiple transformations, okay? We're going to do multiple transformations. All right. Your homework for tonight is, of course, to work on the project and make sure that you complete Tuesday's portion of the project. Okay, make sure you complete Tuesday's portion of the project. Is it 7 period today? Yes, sir. It's 7th period today. Okay. All right. Go ahead and take your packet out, baby. Where's your packet? All right. I'm going to pause for the calls. Give us a chance to write. Here we go. Let's work on the warm-up while I check the homework. This is the warm-up here, okay? Look, I want you to simplify this. The first thing you want to do is what's on the parentheses first. Do this first. You're going to do your exponents. Then after you simplify the exponents, add it together. Then after you add it together, then you multiply the -3 times everything and get one single answer, okay? Get one single answer. All right, so now on this one, you look at this. This is your ordered pairs. You're going to reflect it. So I'm going to give you some graph paper. Then you're going to perform a dilation. So you're doing multiple transformations. Remember what Miss Moore is checking for? Look, I walked you through this yesterday. This is what she's checking for, to make sure that you did the transformation. You already have the pre-image, and you should have already done step 2 right here that we talked about. And step 2 is where you are going to translate. You see right here, you're going to translate. You're going to move it to another quadrant. So you either slid it over here and up, or maybe here and down and over, or whatever. But you should have 2 of the same shape. If you don't, then you didn't do all of your homework. Okay? So please don't argue with that. If we're walking around and we see that you haven't completed it, we're going to stamp it the way it is. And then tonight, you make up for it, okay? All right, but we need to be responsible and do something a little bit every night so that we don't feel overwhelmed at the end of the week. Okay, I'm gonna pause to give you a chance to work on your warm-up, and I'm gonna give you some graph paper for the second problem. Okay, so let's go over the warm-up. Let's see what you have. Please, let's turn our attention to the warm-up. We'll get a chance to do the project here in a minute, but I need you looking at the warm-up, please. Okay, turn and look at the warm-up. I still see Tater, I need you looking at the warm-up, please. DJ, warm up. We got time. Trust me, I'm gonna give you class time to get that. Where's your packet? Oh, no, please don't. Let's not do that. Okay. Just use mine. I didn't hear you. He said he needs. I think he needs the front part of the packet. You need this part right here. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. Order of operations, we want to do what's in the parentheses first. We have 4 to the second power. That's the same as saying 4 times 4. What's 4 times 4? 16. So here we got 16. Then we got plus 1/2 to the second power is the same as saying 1/2 times 1/2. Okay, multiply straight across. So on the top, what's 1 times 1? And on the bottom, what's 2 times 2? Good job, y'all. Okay. So now we are going to add these two together. So when we add what's in the parentheses together, we get 16 and 1/4. Okay. So now we are going to multiply this. But when you multiply, I use the bracket and a parentheses. It doesn't matter which one. You can change these to parentheses if you like, okay? We're going to multiply this together. A negative times a positive is going to give you a negative answer. And out to the side, we're going to multiply a whole number with a mixed number. So you're going to change the whole number to a fraction by putting a 1 under it. You're going to change the mixed number into an improper fraction by multiplying the denominator times the whole number and then adding the numerator. So we have 16 times 4, and then we're going to add 1. Okay, what's 4 times 6? 24. Good job, y'all. And then we got 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is what? 6. So we got 64 plus 1. What's 64 plus 1?
65.
So it's going to be 65 on the top, and my denominator is 4. Keep your denominator the same. Okay. We already know that a negative times a positive is going to be a negative, so we know our answer is a negative. And now we're going to multiply straight across. So we're going to multiply 3 times 65, and then we're going to multiply 1 times 4. So let's do 3 times 65 first. Okay. Well, we already got negative here. Yeah. You can put it right here if you want to, but we already wrote it. That's a good observation, okay? 3 times 5 is what? 15. Then we have 1 times 3. I'm sorry, not 1 times 3. 3 times 6 is what? 18 plus 1 is what? 19. Good job. So we got a negative 195 on the top. Okay. And on the bottom, 1 times 4 gives us what? 4. Okay, so this is going to be our answer here as an improper fraction. We can keep it as an improper fraction, or we can write it as a decimal. Okay, so when we write it as a decimal, we can divide. How many times will 4 go into 19? Because we know it won't go into 1, but what about 19? 4. That gives us 16. This is 3 remaining here. How many times will 4 go into 35? How many times will 4 go? How many times will 4 go into 35? Yes. You said, what's 7 times 4?
21. 8? 21. Did you say 4 times 7?
Yeah, he said 7.
Are we going 8 times?
8. What's 4 times 8?
24?
22.
32. Okay, so we're going to do 8. Okay. You're fine. You're okay, baby cheeks. And we can add a decimal and a 0. How many times will 4 go into 30? Come on, y'all.
7 times.
7?
Yes. 4 times 7 is.
And that gives us what? 20 what? Sorry, babe. How many times was 4 times 7?
I can't write any of this down.
28. Just use the back side of the paper, y'all. Look, there's plenty of room at the bottom. You see right here? The back side of the paper. You can do that. All right. So that's going to give us what? What's 30 minus 28? 2. And then finally, what is 4? How many times will 4 go into 20? 5 times. So your answer could be 48.75. Let me slide this over some. Shh. Shut your face. Shh. 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 All right, here we go. Let's do this one. The second one. Take your piece of graph paper and you're gonna draw a coordinate plane. Anybody still copying this before I move on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me pause. Let's draw a coordinate plane. This is for Tuesday's warm up. This is week 5. Please make sure you don't lose this slip because we're going to take a picture of this and submit it on Friday. Or Thursday. We might submit on Thursday. All right. You okay, babe? Okay, so now we're going to graph these points. The points that we're going to graph. The first one is 8 and -4. Start here. Go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And go down 4 because it's -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is D. The next ordered pair is -12 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And +4 is up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is E.
Wait, what was E?
-12 over to the left 12 and then up 4. Is that 1 or 2? Oh, did you get 1?
I don't know.
You have 1? Okay.
No, I just don't.
Oh. All right. -16 and 8. So I need to go over just a little bit more with my line. So we know right here is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And what is that? -8 down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is F. And this is my triangle. Yeah, that's a large piece of graph paper I gave you. Oh, you did it the long way. Do you want me to give you another sheet? Okay, and just turn it sideways like this, babe. Sorry.
What was D?
It's on your paper. D is right here. It's +8 and -4. So you go over +8 and down 4. And I'll pause here, give you a chance to write. All right, so let's do the next part of it. It says find the coordinates after you reflect it. So we're finding the coordinates for E. So that's E prime. After we have reflected E. Okay, we're going to reflect it over the X axis. So we're going to reflect it over the X axis. This is the X axis here. So whatever's above the X axis, when you flip it over the X axis, it's going to be below. So they want you to flip E. So let's flip E. E is 1, 2, 3, 4 above the line. So when you flip it, it's going to be 4 under the line. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is E prime. This new location for E, you go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times. And you went down 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So this ordered pair is -12 and -4.
Wait, how do we use it?
Say again, baby.
How do we use it?
It says flip it over the X axis. So this is the X axis here. So So if you're flipping it over the x-axis, if it's above, then when you flip it, it's going to be below. How far is it above? It's 4. So that means it's going to be 4 below. Does that make sense to you? The last thing it's asking you to do is to dilate. So that means you're going to multiply the scale factor times each of the ordered pairs. Okay. So let's multiply times the original. Let's multiply times the original. So these are the original here. We have D, which is 8, comma, -4. We have E, which is -12, comma, 4. And we have F, which is -16, comma, -8. And we're going to multiply each of these X and Y values by 1/4, which is the same as dividing it by 4. Multiplying by 1/4 is the same as dividing it by 4. So my new ordered pair for D, it's going to be D prime. What's 8 divided by 4?
2.
So this is 2, comma. What is -4 divided by 4? How many times will 4 go into 4? Once. So this is -1. Please write this down. All we're doing is multiplying 1/4 times both X and Y. Let's do E the same way.
I already have the answer.
Good job. What does that give you, babe?
For E,
Mm-hmm.
-3, -1.
Very good. So -12 divided by 4, he's right, it's -3. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay. F prime. Okay, so we have -16 divided by 4. What is -16 divided by 4? 4. Don't forget the negative. What's -8 divided by 4? -2. And this is going to be my points after I have dilated it. Okay. Pause, give you a chance to write, and we're going to look at the project. Okay? Let's look at the project. Yes, baby. I'm sorry. Yes. All right. Let's look at the project. Yes, baby. Make sure you do that when you go to the bathroom, okay? All right, so let's look at this. I lost my train of thought for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, how many people did this shape? Did anybody do this one? So you guys did this one. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. This is what you're supposed to do. Does everybody have their pre-image? And their pre-image should be in quadrant number 1. And let's go ahead and label this. This is quadrant number 1. This is quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. And this is quadrant 4. Please make sure that you label your quadrants, okay? Yes, baby. Let's see. I can probably do this, baby. They're doing too much. Huh? Oh, I was like, what is that? I was wondering what that is. Thank you. You got it, sweetheart? All right. No, because you might mess up. You might mess up, so please do in pencil. All right. This was the first part of, please stop talking while I'm talking, babe, okay? Respectfully. You'll have a chance to get this done. You'll be working on your own, and they'll be fine then. But while I'm doing this, make sure that you're focused so you'll know what I'm doing. All right, so this is what you should have done last night. You should have performed a translation. Translation is to slide, okay? So you're going to slide it to a different quadrant and label those points. This move is going to be A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. It's going to have one tick mark because this is the first time you've moved it and it's a slide. So however you choose to slide it, you have to make sure that it's all the way into a quadrant. It doesn't matter which quadrant it's all the way into, but it has to be all the way into a quadrant. So what I was saying yesterday in my video is that if I want to move it to this quadrant, I got to at least make sure, you see my furthest number is 8. I have to at least make sure that I move it over 8 times. So maybe I move it 10, or maybe I move it 11, or whatever. But I need to make sure that all of it is in this quadrant. If I go down this way, I need to make sure that I at least move it down 9, because this is my furthest point, is that it is up 9. So I have to at least move it down 9 to get it all the way to that next quadrant. Okay? So you need to move whatever your shape is into another quadrant by using translation. So if I want to slide it 11 or 12 times to the left, that's what I need to say. 12 units left. And then maybe 3 units up. Or I might want to slide it 12 units down and 3 units to the right. Make that decision now. I need to see that on your paper, that it's all the way to another quadrant. And just hit the cancel. Thanks, babe. All right. So write the directions here. If you chose to do 10 units or 11 units or 12 units to the left or to the right or whatever, write that here. Okay, write whatever you chose to do there. All right. If I was to do, let me give an example. If I say 12 units left and 3 units up, to write the rule for that, this is how I write that as a rule. This is my X. Remember, X is left to right. Since I'm going to the left, I'm subtracting. So I'm going to say X minus 12, comma. Remember, Y is up and down. Since I go up, that's adding. So I'm going to say Y plus 3. This is how I write my rule. My vector would be negative 12, comma, positive 3. This would be my vector. Both of these I need. Don't use mine. Use your own. Okay? Use your own. Yes, babe.
So it can be any number, right?
It can be any number you want it to be. As long as, DJ, as long as the shape that you created, as long as the shape you created is in another quadrant.
Okay.
You have to move it so that it's all the way in another quadrant. Thank you so much. Okay? Yes. When he comes back, go ahead and get some water. Okay, go ahead. Bathroom, babe. All right, I'm going to pause because I want to check. I'm going to walk around to make sure everybody's on the right track with what I said so that I can move on to the next one. Okay? I'm going to pause for the calls.